I'd like to welcome everybody to the 2015 Summit League Basketball Championships. This is our annual tip-off press conference. This year's event marks the 7th in Sioux Falls, and more importantly, the first in the Davie Sanford Premier Center. Before we get started, a couple of quick reminders. Please silence all mobile devices at this press conference and throughout the tournament during our press conferences. On Saturday morning at 11 a.m., we will have a media availability with Mark Lewis of the NCAA. He is the Executive Vice President of Championships and Alliances. That will be here in the media interview room. And throughout the tournament, just to make you aware, and to be sure to check often, our media website that has updates and kind of fills the place of our media packet that we used to give out with some of these details is summitleague.org/march-to-the-summit/media. That'll have updates as far as availabilities, any details you need from a media coverage perspective. And on your way out today, you can pick up your credentials as well as a copy of the All-League releases. You've seen the All-League team scrolling on the board behind me. To begin today's event, we'll unveil our men's and women's individual awards. In women's basketball, our first award is the Newcomer of the Year award. That goes to Oral Roberts' Vicky McIntyre. The Florida transfer ranks among the nation's top 3 in 5 categories, including holding the top spot in rebounds per game. The 6th Woman of the Year award goes to Mikhail Rogers of IUPUI. She averaged 8.1 points and 4.2 rebounds, coming off the bench in 11 of 16 league contests this season. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Oral Roberts' Vicky McIntyre. She is the 2nd player in league history to win both the Newcomer and Defensive Player of the Year honors in the same season. The Coach of the Year is South Dakota's Amy Williams. She guided the Coyotes to their first regular season Summit League title with a 13-3 record. And finally, Player of the Year goes to Western Illinois' Ashley Luke. Luke earned the Division I Women's Basketball Capital One Academic All-American of the Year honor. She posted a league best 22.5 points and 13.2 rebounds in Summit League play. On the men's side, we'll begin with the Newcomer of the Year. That goes to South Dakota State's DeAndre Parks. The junior college transfer led all newcomers in scoring at 14.2 points per game. 6th Man of the Year goes to North Dakota State's Dexter Warner. The freshman ranked 3rd on the Summit League co-champions with 7.6 points per game. Defensive Player of the Year is South Dakota State's Cody Larson. Larson posted a league-high 5.8 defensive rebounds in Summit League contests. Coach of the Year goes to North Dakota State's David Richmond. He is the first rookie coach since 1983-84 to win the honor, and he did so after guiding his team to a share of the league's regular season title after being picked 5th in the preseason poll. And finally, Player of the Year goes to Lawrence Alexander. The Peoria, Illinois native is the league leader in scoring, 3-point field goals made, and minutes played. He is the 2nd consecutive Bison to earn the league's top honor. And at this time, I would like to introduce our guests. We have Summit League Commissioner Tom Duple, Sioux Falls Sports Authority Executive Director Wesley Hall, Davie Sanford Premier Center General Manager Terry Torkelson, Mid-Continent Communications Vice President of Business Solutions Mark Powell. We'll begin with an opening statement from each, and then we'll take your questions. Following our press conference, we'll have an opportunity to do one-on-one interviews with each member of the panel. Commissioner Duple, if you'd like to lead us off.
Well, this is definitely an exciting time for us here. You know, we started out a number of years ago with a pretty good basketball tournament. We were very successful, had some very great games in different venues in Fort Wayne and Kansas City and Tulsa, and so we came to Sioux Falls with a very successful and good tournament. And what's happened over those 6 years is we've turned it into an event where there's media interest, fan interest, and corporate sponsorship support. It has really become nationally known. Last year at this time, on a Friday, we opened up the USA Today, and there it was, bigger than Dallas, Summit League. You know, March's best kept secret. Every game this year is going to be carried, thanks to Midcoast support, on ESPN Family and Networks. We're on ESPN Full Court, ESPN3, ESPNU for the final women's game, and ESPN2 for the men's game. It's truly become an event. But now we're turning that into an experience. To have that experience of moving into this new arena with all the amenities that go with it is something that our student athletes are going to really be surprised and look forward to. All the support that we've gotten over the years in the iconic Sioux Falls Arena, now we move on into this new arena with all the sparkles involved with a new place. It's going to be a place to be, a happening, and an experience. And we encourage all of those fans. If you're thinking about coming to the game on Saturday and Sunday and throughout this weekend, we've ordered good weather for you, so you've got that. Please help us support this tournament. As David mentioned, we're going to have Mark Lewis here, who's the Executive Senior Vice President for the NCAA for Championships. I hope the media comes. He'll be available for media interviews on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. So please come, and this is the highest you can get in the NCAA when it comes to championships. We want to put our best foot forward as a community and as a league. We're going to show them the best tournament, men's and women's, the best facility that you can find, and an experience that hopefully he'll go back and say that to different committees as we pursue all these different events for Sioux Falls. We thought this year would be a transition year with 5 new coaches, and it's proven to be the most competitive that we've ever had. Any team can beat anybody. It's going to be a truly competitive tournament on the men's side. On the women, we've had University of South Dakota and South Dakota State sort of separate themselves on the women's side. And they know you have to show up and play every single game in this tournament. Overall, there's 5,000 women student athletes that play women's basketball. And this includes Notre Dame, UCLA, Cornell, LSU, all the big schools. And there's one student athlete out of all those 5,000 that gets named Academic All-American Player of the Year. That student athlete happens to be in the Summit League. And she also just happened to be our Player of the Year. So the question is, can you come to the Summit League and be an Academic All-American? Yes, you can. Can you come to the Summit League in a very good women's basketball league and be Player of the Year? Yes, you can. It's a great testament to Ashley Luke in Western Illinois, but also to our league. It's a great recruiting tool that we have. Our bottom line in all of this is we want to graduate student athletes that are successful in life. We want to have them be successful on the court and off the court. And that's our goal, and our institutions are doing a great job. We could not be more pleased to move into this new arena. We're thrilled. We're going to open up as many sections as we can to get as many fans as we can in here to share that experience with you. Just to thank you for the media's interest over these last number of years. That's led us to being successful and led us to help get the women's regional here next year, women's NCAA regional. It's helped us to publicize and get fans to our tournament. So thank you so much.
Yeah, Tom used the operative word, excited. I think if we have one word to describe what we're all feeling right now, it's a lot of excitement. We're all looking forward to seeing what it's going to look like with 9,000, 10,000 fans in that building this weekend. It's been something that we've been building to ever since last year's tournament. It's been a year-round process of planning, getting this building operational and getting things, all the details planned out. Over the past 6 years, we've had tremendous success. 2013, we put 44,000 plus fans into the old arena over 4 days. Within those 6 years, we've set the top 6 total attendance marks for the Summit League tournament, and this year we're going to crush every record we've ever set. 50,000, 60,000, we'll see how many people we can put in this new building. In terms of ticket sales, that's always been a big question. How are things going? And things are going extremely well. Everyone's really excited to see Division I basketball being played in this beautiful building. And just about 15 minutes ago, for session 2, Saturday night men's, we've opened up sections 215 through 219. So that opens up an additional 1,000 seats in the upper concourse. So that puts our capacity approaching 10,000 so far for that night session. So we're looking forward to it. We're glad everyone's here. It should be a fun, exciting event.
Well, I'd like to welcome you all to a real media room instead of a storeroom. It's kind of a nice move. It's really an exciting moment for us to be able to show off the building. This is one of the first big event to be televised that we can show the world what we have to offer. There are a lot of new amenities that, thanks to a lot of our partners, including Recon Communications, for the extraordinary Wi-Fi system we have, so the fans will be able to use their mobile devices when they're here. We will also have the Summit Lounge set up. It will be on the lower level concourse, just down the corridor from the box office. And that space will be open after games and an hour after the final game, so if fans want to kind of hang out in between sessions or hang out after the game, they have a place to go right here on site. It's a new addition that Commissioner Duple pushed us to make this a true experience, and that's probably the main change, other than everything else from the old building to this building. I could spend hours making a list of what's different, but I think you can all see it. So, Mark.
Well, I think all three use the word excited. I don't know any other word but pumped. Excited and pumped to once again be broadcasting these games Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And we've got some new things with the sports network that we're doing. One will be a pretty cool gym camera that will sit at the corner of the court and catch some on-court and fan action this school with the sports network. We've expanded our camera coverage. Up to 10 cameras will be on each game. So that's what's new with the sports network, and we just couldn't be happier to see the culmination of a basketball season right here in this wonderful facility, to walk in and see everything getting set up. It's pretty cool. Doing it in the arena the last few years was always fun and exciting this time of year. Really, March Madness on the national scene hits next week, but for us this is our March Madness, and for us at Midco Sports Network we couldn't be more thrilled to be part of the Summit League and our Inside the Summit League show that goes all season long. This is just really building up to this event, which again, I'll just say we're pumped to be here and ready to go. Excited to get this going.
All right, at this time we'll open it up for any questions. Go ahead and state your name and affiliation. We have the question for. Not be shy, somebody's got to ask the first question for the media room.
Thank you. Question for Terry. Could you talk just a little bit about what went into making sure that all the trains are going to run on time from your perspective in relation with Wes and with Tom and League and city interests?
Yeah, well, we always had good lines of communication, because obviously putting on an event like this in the old arena was more of a Herculean task than in here. We did do the test run with the high school games. That was a chance that some people from the league office came down, were able to see the building. Wes came over, looked at it, we made some decisions, we tweaked a few things. So that was really our test run. Midco came in, hooked up the truck, and did a little broadcasting and tested the system. So we've already done our dry run. So, it is different. We don't do basketball flips every day like we used to, so we're more of a hockey, football mode, concert mode. So there were some things we did have to work out with equipment that needed to be rented, and it but it turned out great. I mean, you can walk out after the press conference and take a look. We're pretty much set and see that it's quite a different view than what it used to be.
Matt Zimmer, Argus Leader. This question can be for anybody up there. Is there any element of this being, I don't want to say a trial run necessarily, but being that it's the first year in the new facility, are you taking sort of an approach where you say, let's see how these things go and potentially make adjustments going forward into the future?
Sure. You know, David and I were just talking about this outside the door that, yeah, we'll be tweaking things. You know, obviously things are much different than it used to be, so, but a lot of planning has gone into it, so there should only be minor things that need to be adjusted, but if something doesn't work, yeah, we'll work through it, we'll change it, and make it better.
Jeff Turn from ESPN 99.1. Tom, what are the conversations that you've had with the NCAA about other future events coming to Sioux Falls? What have those conversations been like?
Well, they've been very positive. I think, you know, having Mark Lewis here is a testament that maybe I need to come and find out, you know, what really is happening out there in Sioux Falls. So getting him on site and showing him the passion that the city has, and the arena staff and the fans and our own league office and administration, I think it's a key. It's a key to have him out here, and I'll have an opportunity not only to show him, you know, the arena, but we'll be over at the Pentagon, and I'll be able to show him other facilities in the city, along, you know, with the hotels and the restaurants and the sculpture walk along downtown. You know, all of that's the whole package, and I really feel it's important that we have someone of Mark's stature here, so when you're sitting around the table, he can put in, you know, the good word when those bids. I've encouraged Wes, I don't care what it is, Division I, Division II, let's just put a bid in, and we'll work behind the scenes with the different committee members and the NCAA, and try to bring them, you know, to fruition.
Now, on that same front, in regards to Division I know that they have certain guidelines with as far as capacity that they like to see. Have they been at least encouraging about being flexible in regards to that, considering some of the limitations that, you know, this facility has versus some other ones in the region?
Well, you know, this is my 30th year in Division I athletics, and I've been all over the country, East Coast, West, South, and I can put this facility up against any one that we've been in. Last year, you know, North Dakota State won, and we've gone out to Spokane for the first round, which, by the way, we won the first game in there. You know, this facility matches up and beyond. This is something to sell to the committee. Obviously, they felt, you know, to be able to have a women's regional here is huge. You're going to get a #1 seed in the country, you know, for women's basketball here next year. There's no doubt. I mean, unless they get upset, but you're going to have some very good teams come in, and I think that's a selling point for us right now. And you know, while the iron's hot, we need to take advantage of it, and that's why, you know, I encourage. We need support. You know, ticket sales are going great, but there's still a lot of seats open. You know, we've got to have everybody in there. It's the time to step up. The eyes of the nation are on Sioux Falls right now. You know, we're nationally televised. We got enough of media that it gets out on a national level. So we want to put our best foot forward.
Jeff, what's not with Wes? For you, how quickly can you make decisions based on the ticket demand that you're seeing as far as, I mean, I know you've already decided to open up more seating for that first session, but as the tournament goes on, is it something you guys can kind of do on a whim, or is it something you need to have kind of a plan after the first day and what you've seen to that point, whether or not you can open up more seating and make that as available as possible?
Yeah, I can answer that with both. We've talked through internally what the plan would be, potentially what everything needs to look like to make a decision. Also internally, we're working with the box office here. They're ready to flip that switch. It only takes a couple minutes, a couple clicks of the mouse to open those seats, and then to start publicizing the fact that we have additional sections open. So it's going to be a nightly